Doug Christie. What happens when the man you betrayed files suit against you for every dollar, every lie, every year you stole from him? He just started the most explosive legal action in reality TV history, aiming at his own team member and wife. Doug didn't cry. He didn't beg. He lawyered up. Now Jackie Christie and Chris Webber are formally being sued for paternity fraud, identity deception, emotional distress, and over $4.6 million in damages. After a DNA bombshell confirmed Chris Webber is the real father of Jackie's daughter, this case became about more than just betrayal. It's about papers, contracts, back child support, and the legacy they tried to pillage. Now, Jackie's brand is failing, Chris's sponsorships are vanishing, and Chantel finds herself caught between two last names, one courtroom, and a lie that never stops widening. Doug was quiet for 2 decades. Today, he is coming for everything. The court system is open. This isn't just payback. This is the official reckoning of Jackie Christie's empire. One thing is to be betrayed. Another is to discover the daughter you raised for 20 years was never yours. Then to be publicly humiliated and misled by your wife, and subtly teased by your own teammate. Doug Christie is about to sue them both into the ground. He's not about to just walk away. Now the court records are public. Originally filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court, the lawsuit resembles a Netflix courtroom drama. Only this is not fiction. This is Doug Christie versus Jackie Christie, Chris Webber, and Jackie's boss. The charges have nuclear resonance. Allow me to dissect it. Doug is suing Chris and Jackie for intentional emotional distress, paternity fraud, civil identity manipulation, public misrepresentation for financial gain, retroactive financial damages going back 20 years, total amount sought for $1,600,000, and yes, Doug's lawyers say that number could rise as new evidence surfaces. And what proof exists? Oh, every lie is right here. Every receipt, every whispered secret Jackie and Chris thought would never see daylight is now Exhibit A. Doug's legal team included a second DNA test, showing a 998% paternity match to Chris Webber and confirming zero biological connection to Chantel. Let that sink in. Jackie's journal entries, where she admitted knowing the truth. The leaked voicemail warning Chris to stick to the narrative. And the shocking clause in her VH1 contract claiming she was raising her and Doug's biological child. False. Jackie built a TV career, a brand, and a public image off a lie. Today, Doug wants every dollar that lie earned. But wait, there's more. Doug is demanding a complete public correction of the birth certificate. Not just pursuing money, he wants Chris Webber listed as the biological father on all future public and private records. Jackie is spinning. This is about permanent correction, not pettiness. Sources claim she collapsed in her foyer and cried for 2 hours when served the lawsuit. This isn't the emotional breakdown of an innocent woman. It's the panic of a fraudster who just got legally cornered. And Chris Webber is silent. No public reaction. No statement. Just rumors of him changing legal counsel overnight and firing his publicist. Now, let's discuss the court's approach. Doug's team isn't just coming for headlines. A prominent Beverly Hills litigation shark told the media, "This isn't just about Mr. Christie. This is about any man who's ever raised a child under a lie. We will classify paternity fraud as a major civil offense, with repercussions under serious actionability guidelines." Translation: they're laying a legal blueprint for every future betrayed father in America. This isn't just dragging Jackie down. This could change the rules right now. Let's talk money, because that's where things get messy, eh? Doug's attorneys produced a chronology of losses: private school expenses, $180,000 college expenses, $95,000 medical coverage, $72,000 vacations, Sweet 16 party, with Bow Wow $230,000 sporadic expenses, gifts, vehicles, clothing, $75,000 brand damage from false paternity narratives, $150,000 emotional value assessment, $500,000 Jackie's VH1 income and sponsorships, earned through deception, $1,880,000 Chris Webber's share, which Doug wants split 50-50, $1,500,000 grand total for $1,600,000 and counting. Jackie and Chris may end up sharing responsibility for more than $2 million each. Now it gets even uglier. According to one insider, Doug's legal team issued preliminary subpoenas on Jackie's financial records and discovered shell accounts, hidden payments, and consulting fees from TV companies that never existed. The court might suggest a televised trial, along with a criminal review of the falsified birth certificate. This isn't just a scandal, it's the slow-motion fall of a constructed empire. And while Doug's legal team was planning a clean, calculated takedown in court, Jackie was backstage doing what she does best: plotting. If you thought Jackie Christie's scandal couldn't get any worse, just wait until you hear what she did next. Sources close to the case now confirm Jackie sought to reach out privately to Chantel, not to apologize, not to explain, but to buy her silence before deposition. You read that right. A woman who hid the truth for 20 years is now accused of trying to pay off her daughter to dodge testifying. Here's what allegedly happened. 2 days after Doug's legal team requested Chantel's notary deposition, Jackie's assistant reportedly delivered a sealed envelope with $15,000 in cash, a handwritten note reading, "You don't have to get dragged into this. Let your folks deal with it. I'll look after you." That's witness tampering. Plain and simple. Chantel didn't participate. She took pictures, kept the note, and sent it directly to Doug's attorney. Jackie received a cease and desist within hours. The court was informed. Jackie's response? She went on Instagram Live at 2 a.m., rambling about loyalty and people switching sides, then abruptly stopped mid-sentence. Commenters lit her up. "You tried to purchase the silence of your own daughter. Jackie, this is criminal. Court tampering with a witness while the world watches? You deserve every loss coming." Exposed since depositions formally started, the leaks, boss, are wild. Doug's official statement, taken under oath, has now produced partial transcripts. Here's a true quotation that grabbed media attention. "I spent 20 years defending Jackie's reputation. Now I see I was covering the lie, not the woman." Mic dropped. Then Doug went on to testify about the psychological toll and admitted, "There were times I felt something was off, but I ignored it. I valued my family. Though love does not pardon dishonesty, I felt I was acting morally." Jackie's turn arrived next. Her account turned out to be disastrous. She claimed she never meant to hurt Doug, but admitted she felt the child wasn't his since year one. She stumbled through questions, contradicted her earlier remarks. One important interchange proceeded like this: "Attorney, did you specifically mark Mr. Christie as the biological father on Chantel's birth certificate?" Jackie: "I said his name." Attorney: "So you orally confirmed paternity without a test?" Jackie: "I didn't list him. The nurse just asked." "Yes, but under stress, boss. It was emotional." Chris Webber finally showed up when things couldn't spiral harder. No lawyers, no entourage, just him, gently walking into the deposition room like a man headed for execution. And what he said changed everything. The court isn't buying emotional excuses for fraud. Jackie told me she wasn't sure. "I knew the possibility existed. Though silence can be just as destructive, I stayed quiet to guard Doug. And her." Boom. Acceptance under oath. That quotation alone put him in liability for financial fraud and emotional harm. To be clear, Doug's lawyer wasted no time. "You deliberately let another man raise your daughter for 2 decades without telling him the truth?" Chris pauses. "Indeed. And I shall regret it all my life." Too little, too late. Now the court possessed all it required: a synthetic identity, a confirmed DNA match, and a conspiratorial silence. Public damage directly connected to Jackie and Chris, together with a bribe attempt. Doug was behind the scenes, moving in silence, but gathering momentum. Through his attorney, he made one public statement: "This is about responsibility, not retribution. A lie I never asked to carry changed my life. The people who created that lie will answer for it." And the internet ate it up. #JusticeForDoug began to trend, now popular in advocacy circles. Paternity fraud laws even got verified accounts posting. Doug Christie presents the face of subdued retribution. "You take your power back like this." Jackie's brand was withering. Her real estate company dropped her. A podcast she co-hosted was canceled. Even her reality TV syndication rights were stopped for moral clause breaches. Boss, Chris is melting down in private, while she is bleeding, professionally, financially, and emotionally. One insider reportedly sent a text message supposedly from Weber to his team. This is spiraling. I merely wanted it buried. I never expected court, boss. Right now, the front page is this scandal. Globally, even internationally, gossip sites picked it up. Chantel is formally changing her legal last name, citing emotional damage and personal identity reconstruction as her reasons. In an exclusive interview snippet leaked by a publishing outlet, Chantel says, "This is about the truth. About being allowed to live in reality, not a script my mother created." Then she dropped the title of her upcoming book, Built on Lies, My Life as Someone Else's Daughter Boss. That book might permanently bury Jackie's image. But right now, we turn our attention back to the courtroom, since here is what lies ahead. Jackie might be subject to criminal charges for her attempt at a bribe. Should Doug's team split claims, Chris Weber is getting ready for a second civil lawsuit. Doug has not only filed for damage awards but also for official reimbursement orders. And the judge is considering a motion to televise the whole trial.
You heard that right.
The trial, Jackie versus Doug. Chris in the crosshairs. The trial, Jackie against Doug, with Chris in the crosshairs, might soon go on public viewing. Testimony breakdowns, cross-examinations, all of it. And VH1 is watching closely. They're determining whether to cut ties with the Basketball Wives legacy and rebrand completely. Doug has stayed cool, collected, and deliberate. Meanwhile, sources claim he turned down every single reality TV pitch presented, including offers to turn the crisis into a documentary.
Why?
As he apparently informed his staff, "I didn't ask for the spotlight, but now that I have it, I'll use it to tell the truth, not to entertain." Boss, that's power. That's class. That's a man who lost everything and yet walked out with dignity. Jackie is cornered by the court, by the media, by her own daughter. These days, all that remains is the decision. Desperate to witness the fall of two once legendary names, Jackie Christie and Chris Weber, reporters lined the walls. Cameras waited outside. Even former NBA colleagues and reality TV producers slipped in through side doors. This wasn't just court. This was closure. 20 years in the making. And at the center of it all, Doug Christie sat, silent, focused, unbreakable. Opening statements marked the beginning of the trial, and Doug's attorney came out swinging. The two people Mr. Christie trusted most manipulated, misled, and defrauded him. The court will find this is about identity theft, emotional abuse, and the weaponizing of loyalty, not only about DNA. The sob story wasn't being bought in that room. The receipts were already on the table. DNA tests, the fake birth certificate, the voicemail to Chris, the journal entry, the bribe poll, all there. Jackie's lawyer tried to paint her as a confused young mother who made a mistake during a time of emotional upheaval. Then came day 2. The day Jackie stood, dressed in all black, false humility seeping from every movement. Initially composed, Jackie tried to keep it together. "I loved Doug. I still do. I didn't know how to tell him the truth without losing everything." Under close inspection, though, the mask cracked quickly. "Attorney, did you consciously let Mr. Christie believe Chantel was his child for more than 20 years? Jackie, sure. Attorney, just yes or no. Further background is not required. Did that belief help you, personally, financially? Jackie, sure.
Boom.
Whispers permeated the courtroom. Then the attorney dropped the hammer. Would you describe your brand, your book deals, your public persona? Would any of it exist without that lie? Your TV contracts, do they reflect that? Jackie blinked.
Shook.
Jackie, no. She broke right then. Hands shaking, red eyes, mascara running. Then the court called Chantel Christie to the stand. The same woman who once dominated every Basketball Wives reunion with her sharp tongue now stood calm, strong, ready. She walked up, sat down, fixed her mother in the eye, and inhaled deeply. Her voice was clear. I didn't know the truth about my paternity until this year. And when I did, it wrecked me.
Her account was exact. Raw.
Tragic. She clarified why Chris Webber would sporadically show up at family events. She exposed Jackie's lies to her, layer by layer, on everything from her father's identity. I once asked my mother, "Why does Uncle Chris always cry when he sees me?" She said he was merely emotional. I was too young to know the truth, that he was not exactly an uncle. She wasn't done. Gasps were involved. Raised as a brand accessory, not a daughter, Chantel claimed she felt used, manipulated, and publicly exploited. Her most devastating line? Doug was the only parent in my life who never lied to me until he found out the lie he'd been given. Even the judge was shook. He may not be my biological father. Jackie sobbed nonstop, but Chantel never turned away. She closed with a one-sentence, instant viral truth bomb. Though truth hurts, lies destroy people. Boss, the courtroom exploded in cheers. Even the judge had to restore order. The verdict, the result? Unanimous. Jackie Christie was found liable for emotional manipulation, paternity fraud, civil deceit, and financial distortion. Ordered to pay $2,900,000 in damages. Chris Webber was found jointly liable for willful concealment of paternity and emotional damage through prolonged silence. Ordered to pay $1,700,000 in restitution to Doug. Doug?
Cleared.
Redeemed. Legally declared the victim of a 2-decade deception scheme. Paparazzi swarmed Jackie as she exited the courtroom. She had nothing to say. Her team sent out a mild statement. "We respectfully disagree with the decision and are weighing all alternatives." No apology. No accountability. Just silence and shame. Chris Webber, however, released a public statement that night,